name is Brandice Strotman, here with Costa Mesa Brief, covering today's press conference on the transfer of coronavirus patients to Fairview Developmental Center. Who notified the state of California that these patients were being transferred?
That's exactly the types of questions we need answers to. We do not know who in the Trump administration made this decision, who was involved in that decision-making process, and what was the criteria used to decide on this facility. Second, who did they communicate to at the state level? And third, who and when was somebody in the local level communicated to? Because for the mayor and the council of Costa Mesa, they found out late Thursday. And if anybody else was finding out beforehand, we need to know that as well.
Who notified you?
Mayor Foley called me. And honestly, when she called me and told me what she had heard, I thought it was a hoax. Like, how could you be considering bringing individuals with an infectious disease into our community 3 days later without any coordination or communication with local officials led me to believe this has to be a hoax. And to find out it wasn't a hoax, that the communication from the Trump administration was that poor, demands a lot of answers to a lot of questions.
Who notified you of this?
I first learned from our assemblywoman who wanted to alert us, and so then I contacted our team, but they were already working on it because they learned almost simultaneously.
So you're the council member that covers District 1, which houses the Fairview Developmental Center. How does this affect your district most?
Well, actually, I live in District 1, so that's my neighborhood, but I'm an at-large council member. But yeah, it affects the district, but it affects the whole community. I mean, and honestly, I think that Fairview Developmental Center really, even though it is technically in District 1, it seems closer to College Park in District 3. But irrespective of what district it's near, it does affect the entire community, because one of the things we were worried about is, what about people who work at Fairview Developmental Center and come in contact with people that would go there, that would be infected? Are they going to be able to be in our community, and what precautions will be taken? None of those answers we had, so we had to take this decisive action. And I tell you, we're so proud of the City Council. This was unanimous. We're working together, all 7 of us, in the same direction.
We noticed Ellen Mansour and Sandra Guinness were not at the press conference today. Why was that?
Oh, I don't know, but I don't know why they weren't at the press conference, but I can assure you that they were working on this yesterday for 3 hours. So Alan was on the telephone, but he was there the whole time. Sandy Guinness was there the whole time. So when it counted, they were there fighting for the people of Costa Mesa and trying to keep them safe.
How is something like this affecting Costa Mesa Water District?
Well, I think the main concern is how it impacts our community, and we have ratepayers and neighbors immediately adjacent to that site, and we also have water lines that service those sites, and we'd need to know what the procedures and protocols would be, because it's a new ballgame if that happens.
There were rumors that it spread through an apartment complex in China through the pipes. Is that possible in Costa Mesa?
I would say no. We have a system where we do over 30,000 tests. It's completely monitored regularly, full-time, and our systems are first world systems that wouldn't have that problem.
I want to say thank you to all the first responders who are taking charge of this health crisis, the doctors and the nurses who are taking care of these patients, and we just want to express, and I'm sure on behalf of our board of directors, our empathy goes out to the community, and so we want to make sure that those people are taken care of, and if there's anything we at Mesa Water District can do to help the situation, we stand by.
You're a council member of Newport Beach. How does this move affect you?
Oh, it's very serious. We were alerted to this yesterday, and we immediately joined with Costa Mesa to file an amicus brief, and our mayor, Will O'Neill, will be joining Mayor Foley at the courthouse on Monday morning jointly to make sure this action is delayed. This site in Costa Mesa is adjacent to a highly densely populated residential area. We've heard today from residents who live adjacent to the property. It's very concerning. We just wish the Centers for Disease Control and other federal agencies that are involved in making this decision should be cooperating and coordinating with the local officials at the city and county and state level. Nobody knows a lot. There are a lot of unanswered questions. And that's concerning to all of us. As you can see with the number of people here today, we need answers.
Who notified your office?
I was contacted by the governor's office about the potential of the Fairview Developmental Center being utilized as a California facility to treat California coronavirus patients.
And then you notified?
And then I worked very closely with the city of Costa Mesa to try to get as much information as we possibly could and to see what we could do to try to push back on the federal government's plan to potentially locate patients here. I think, as I said in the press conference, I think it would be really, really shocking and confounding if this site were selected by the feds as the place to site coronavirus patients.
Is there any other locations in your district that would be more fitting for this situation?
There's no reason that this would need to be in our district. I'm not a public health expert, but if I were asked to find a spot to house and treat patients who are suffering from coronavirus, I think somewhere that is remote, that is not in a residential community, and that minimizes the risk of spreading the disease and of creating a public health crisis, those are the criteria that I'd be looking for.
When were you notified about this, and what steps did you take?
So I was notified about Thursday night. I was driving home from San Diego, and I got a call from the city manager and the chief of police. And the information we received was really preliminary at that point. It was just the barest bones that we may have 30 to 50 folks coming to Fairview Developmental Center. And so we sort of left the conversation that there was a lot more information that we need to obtain. It was also unclear to me at that point what agency was actually in charge. So we know we had heard some things from the California Office of Emergency Services, but in terms of the federal agency, that sort of remained a mystery all day on Friday as well.